Hey guys, so it's George here. I'm in my backyard. If you're new here, I'm the dude who likes to ride his bikes, and they're all from the 1980s. And I just got back from Mexico not very long ago, where I had this bike that's on the stand here with me. And I wasn't really going to touch it today because we still have a little bit of ice on the ground, and this has the tires that are like almost like slicks. So not the best thing to ride on ice, but it's 8 degrees Celsius plus here. So in Fahrenheit, I'm not sure what that would be. I am guessing that is about maybe 50 or 60, somewhere in there. So the problem with this bike, and the reason I was gonna just leave it alone for now and just fix it up when the weather's a little bit better still, it's because I was riding it in the sand on the beach, and it actually makes a difference. It actually does something to the bike. Corrosion. There's salt water on the beach, and the air also has a lot of salt in it, so it really takes a toll on the bike. It's almost like winter riding, and in a way it was, it's just in a warmer climate, but it's still winter, isn't it? Have a look. See, the chain, I should have lubricated that a little bit more often while I was in Mexico. It doesn't look great. So you can see the rust here on the derailleur. The bike hasn't been cleaned. Should I even be riding this in this state right now? There's my chainstay protector. It's almost coming off. I made this from an old inner tube. And see, the frame definitely needs touch-ups, but probably even a bit more. See, any place where the paint was a little bit scratched and a little bit chipped off, except for here, is now starting to rust. And this is my favorite bike, guys. This is the bike that I love. And even though it's not ready for service, I'm gonna ride it because I haven't ridden it since I reassembled it after we came back from Mexico. So I'm just gonna throw some oil on the chain and on the cables on the derailleur and stuff. And well, I know the chain is worn out, it needs to be replaced, but it could do one more ride. Famous last words. I've been saying that all winter, just 1-2 more rides. By the way, the front wheel is also, the bearing is a little bit loose. You could probably not see this, but it's kind of small, so I have the choice. I can either stop everything, start fixing the bike, or I can go for my ride. And right now I'm in the mood for a ride. I was going to take the winter bike, but it's got studded tires and it's got an uncomfortable seat, and I haven't ridden this thing since we got back, so I'm gonna do it now. Just gonna start here, that's all. So I'm riding it. First time in a while that I'm riding this complete with a front rack on it and everything, front fender. I didn't bring the front fender and the front rack to Mexico because we weren't gonna go on any major trip where I would need a front rack, and the weather is always good, so the front fender was really secondary too. Didn't bother with it. Oh man, so yeah, it's the end of the day. The weather is nice, but the sun is already gone, I think. Mind you, I think the sunset's only supposed to be 8 o'clock something. I don't even know exactly, but who cares? I'm just gonna ride. It's nice now. Yeah, it's perfect weather. Just suddenly, the snow is almost all gone. I mean, it is gone. I can't see any. Then when you look at the front rack, it's not straight right now. I mean, the minimum that I need to do just to keep this bike going is the chain and the freewheel. None of this stuff looks great, but I mean, the derailleurs, as rusty as they look, they function just like they always do. Put some oil on the pivot points and everything, and no problem. You tell me, would you repaint this bike again this summer? Just because, yeah, in my opinion, it's almost overdue, but I can probably get away with touching it up with the hammered finish paint again. Not gonna look so great, but who cares? There's actually an advantage to having a rust bucket bike kind of thing, because chances of it disappearing are probably less. As long as it doesn't look too good, nobody's gonna really want it, I figure. I don't know if that's really the case. I mean, they're stealing pretty much anything that's not tied down. That's the reality here. Okay, oftentimes I complain about the bike lanes in Edmonton, but when you know your way around, there are actually quite a few ways that are pretty amazing. They just don't always connect in the most obvious and most advantageous ways. Ooh, somebody lost their coat. But at least there's something here. Okay, stopped at an intersection. It should detect my bike. There should be a blue light that comes on. However, for some reason that's not worked. So the back button it is. Now I have to make sure I get back on track here before the light turns red again. So this is all harder to do when you're on a bike, and the bike technology, the bike detection there doesn't work. It's supposed to work, but it doesn't always. So I don't even know where I'm going, guys. I wasn't gonna go here. I was gonna go a totally different way. But Edmonton is a beautiful city. I'm just gonna go for a little ride. So I know it's past 7 o'clock, but sunset is only past 8 o'clock now, I think, because we're so far north that as soon as you get into spring, which by the calendar it is now, then they change the time around, so you have daylight savings time, and that means that, ooh, I gotta make this light. Yeah, I made it. So daylight savings time is, like, I don't know, what do you think about daylight savings time? To be honest with you, I'm not a big fan, because I can live with the sun setting at 7 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock. And in the summertime, like around the summer solstice, the sun actually sets around 11 o'clock here, which is actually, I think, is kind of robbing us some sleep. But we all adapt, and then it feels weird when in the fall we have to set the clocks back again, or is it back? We have to set them back. I mean, in my opinion, this is 19th century stuff, you know, like mess with the clock instead of just change your schedule. You're changing a number, that's all you're doing. Nothing is changing. You don't get more sunlight or anything like that. But yeah, you're changing a number. So this is probably one of the most incoherent, aimless videos that as you'll see on my channel. So I'm just showing you Edmonton neighborhoods here. It's a nice bike lane. Can you see that? I mean, You gotta give it to them. Somebody really thought of us cyclists, made an effort, and now we can get around much safer. So where I'm at is called 119th Avenue. It's just one north of main artery, which is 118th. Traffic there usually gets pretty bad, but here it's usually quiet. And that's